Dionisio at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Swakowski, the big right-hander, lets it go. It's right down Broadway. Dionisio lets it fly, and it's raining now.
It's time for Wrigley Theater with Jeremy Dionisio and Jack Swakowski.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special Minisode version of Wrigley Theater. It's Jeremy coming at you solo this week. Jack is a little under the weather. I think he picked up a bug in Philly or something. So he's sitting this one out. But it felt like it was pertinent to just chime in and drop something here in the feed on the eve of the playoffs. Playoffs start tomorrow with the wild card round. And, Cubs and Brewers are both in it, so figured it was relevant to chime in. I also had a couple things that I didn't get a chance to talk about, and since we're behind on episodes, part two, not part two, but the Cubs Rays will be dropping in the feed this week, which is our last game that we went to for the season. So it's been a couple weeks since we actually went to that game, but we're not going to have any games coming up for the whole winter, so we wanted to give each one its due. But that being said, there's been things that have happened in the league and with baseball, so we wanted to kind of chime in and talk about it, especially the playoffs. Real quick, I think we're going to talk about this on the next episode, so I won't give the full details. But I was Jack and I both graphed the Mets Cubs game, part of the last homestand in Wrigley Field last week, and I showed up and I ended up it turns out I didn't find this out until I was there, but Green Day was at the game. This is a Monday. It turns out it was the Monday after Riot Fest. So Riot Fest happened in Chicago, this rock festival, punk rock festival, and Green Day were the headliners. So they must have stayed in town an extra night and then did the Cubs game the next day. And so they threw out the first pitch. All three of them were there: Billy Joe, Mike, and Trey. And I showed up, and it was apparent that there were graphers there to get Green Day. So I kind of hung around there before I went over to the Mets side. And sure enough, Trey Cool came out and I got his autograph. It's pretty crazy. So I've gotten 2 celebrity autographs now this year, Jeremy Allen White and Trey Cool. It was pretty cool. I had a funny interaction with him, and I think we're going to talk about it on the podcast next week. So I will save the rest of that, but it was it's like an autograph burning a hole in my pocket because I wanted to kind of talk about all that stuff, but I knew that we were kind of behind in episodes, so stay tuned for that. It's kind of a funny little story, and I had a kind of a funny exchange with him, so that'll be coming next week probably with the podcast. So yeah, that's definitely going to be an over-under next year, how many celebrity podcasts or celebrity autographs. I mean, yeah, Jack's got to get in the game, get something on the board. But I'm not sure if he's as moved by the celebrity autographs as I am. But yeah, I might have had to tell him who Trey Cool was, but that's okay. So that's one thing. Second thing that I wanted to talk about was I just saw an article that 500, I don't know, what is it? Let me see if I can find the article. Nearly 58 million pounds of corn dogs have been recalled across the U.S. The USDA announced. I guess it's because there was particles from the wooden toothpicks or the wooden sticks getting mixed in with the breading, the coating on the corn dogs or whatever. Doesn't sound so great. But it's funny because I took in my last Cubs regular season game over the weekend, Cubs Cardinals on Friday, and I noticed that there were people getting corn dogs, and we went to kind of a specialty stand, right behind home plate. They have specialty items, and they had these corn dogs, and it looked like a regular corn dog, but it had a little thing of mustard with it, but there was this weird clear sauce over them. Like it looked like a glaze from like a glazed donut. And I didn't know what the hell it was. It looked really weird and gross, quite honestly. It did not look appetizing. We were trying to, my wife and I were trying to decipher like what it was. If it was like, maybe we thought it was maybe like maple syrup or something, which could work with a corn dog, but not, maybe if there's a sausage inside, not a hot dog, whatever, like a pork sausage. But it was just weird, and it was gross, and it didn't look good, and it was clear. It was not like brown, like maple syrup. So it was weird. And then then the next day they recall, or not the next day, but 3 days later they recall 58 million pounds of corn dogs. So I thought that was a little curious and interesting. I'm not a big corn dog fan, to be quite honest. Yeah, I don't know. It's just never it's never enough hot dog. You can't really put the toppings on it. It's every once in a, like once every 15 years, maybe I'll get a craving for one, but I'm not typically a big corn dog fan. Folks, do we think Jack is a corn dog fan? He's got some weird taste in food sometimes. So I think maybe I could see him being a corn dog fan. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask him on the next episode. So yeah, just a weird observation and weird timing, I would say. So that was a thing. I also did Cubs Arrival. Was it that same day? No, it was the last game against the Mets or something. I can't remember, but I had a field day. I had quite the haul with the Cubs. I got Imanaga, Savale, Colin Ray, Justin Turner on his Cubs walk-off card, which was really cool. I got another Kyle Tucker, got a Cade Horton. So did really well at Cubs Arrival, way better than I ever would have thought too. I also got Michael Bush and Matt Shaw. Yes, I got Matt Shaw after all of the news of what happened. I will say there was a very interesting kind of vibe with that. He seemed like he was very trying to be very accommodating and very patient with all the fans. He signed every autograph, he took pictures, and he seemed like he was kind of just doing it deliberately, almost as if he was trying to do damage control. I don't know. So again, it's another little interesting insight that we get by graphing these guys. So take that with what you will. I needed him on a rookie card. I might be done with Matt Shaw in more ways than one. But hey, I'm just reporting the news here. Okay, folks, that's all I got for right now. We'll have some more with Jack next week. We'll get that answer to the corn dogs thing, and yeah, we'll see. But the playoffs start tomorrow. I think I'm going to drop this the same day that I'm recording it. So playoffs start tomorrow. There's 4 series going on. Tigers at Guardians, who ended up passing the Tigers in a kind of a meltdown that they had, a collapse that they had towards the end of the season. Red Sox at Yankees, which is a classic matchup, pretty cool. Reds at Dodgers, which is at the Gavin Lux revenge tour. I don't know. And then of course Padres at Cubs, which is obviously important to me, and a rematch of 1984, which hopefully doesn't go the same way because the Padres defeated the Cubs. But yeah, those are the 4 matchups there. And then the Mariners, Blue Jays, Phillies, and Brewers get first round byes, which traditionally has not been a good thing for those teams. So as the Cubs were falling behind the Brewers, I was kind of thinking oh yeah, the wild card teams end up getting hot and kind of trouncing through the playoffs. So am I hoping that happens? Yes. The way that the Cubs have played the last couple days before the season ended, it looks like their offense is kind of back in a way. So, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. I kind of am feeling bullish on the Cubs, even though they lost Cade Horton. It's a 3-game series. They just need to win 2. They need to find a way to win 2 games. If Matt Boyd, Shota Imanaga, and Jameson Taillon can't find a way to do that, if they can just find some way to be better than the Padres, to hold them, at bay, and the offense can rake, then I think the Cubs could beat the Padres. That simple. And man, I would say this in front of Jack. also, but like I want to see the Cubs versus the Brewers so bad. I wanted it last year. I want to see them play each other in the playoffs. The Brewers are the best team in baseball, probably. But I think the Cubs know them better than anybody else. Obviously, the reverse of that is true as well. But I like the Cubs' chances against the Brewers. I think it's a familiarity thing. So I really want to see that. I think it would be good for baseball. I don't think anyone else besides outside of Chicago and Milwaukee would care. But I think it would be a really good series. So I'm rooting for that, even if I wasn't just rooting for the Cubs. Dodgers, Reds, I think the Dodgers are not very good. So I think they're beatable, but not by the Reds. Tigers and Guardians, that one's kind of a toss-up. Maybe because it's in Cleveland, you give the advantage to them. But I think the Tigers are ultimately a better team than the Guardians. I think they just got hot. So I could see the Tigers winning that one. And Red Sox, Yankees should be pretty good. The Red Sox did not look that great when I saw them, and they lost like 2 in a row to the Pirates. Not really great. I'm not a huge Yankees believer, but it seems like they have better pitching than the Red Sox, so I feel like the Yankees maybe have the advantage there. I was just doing my bracket, and somehow I ended up with the Mariners versus the Phillies in the World Series. So, take that with what you will. And then I got the Phillies beating the Mariners. So that's what I have in my playoffs. That all being said, I definitely could see the Brewers or the Cubs beating the Phillies. So, I don't know. It would be ridiculous. It would be very suspect for me to pick the to pick the Cubs to win the World Series, or to even make it to the World Series. But I definitely could see it happening. So yeah, I don't know. But somehow I have the Phillies winning the World Series. So go figure. That's about it. I actually scored tickets for Game 3 in the on sale, like the public on sale. So am I hoping that the Cubs lose one of those games? Not necessarily. If they sweep, I would be happy, and then I would be happy to get my money back for those tickets. But I potentially may be seeing Game 3 of that series, the decisive game. So yeah. I definitely hope the Padres don't sweep. I hope that I don't go to a Game 3 and see the Padres beat the Cubs. But yeah, we'll see what happens. They haven't announced the rotation yet, at least I don't think. Recording this at like 9:15 on Monday night. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. The Cubs play, at 2:00, which is kind of bogus, but when you have the Yankees and the Dodgers hosting games, I guess they're going to get prime time, and that's that. So we'll see. I have a feeling that there's a good chance that the Thursday game, Game 3, if the Cubs play it, will get moved later because of I'm assuming that one of the Yankees-Dodgers might not go that long, so we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, it could be it's going to be a good week for sure, and the next round of the playoffs starts already, I think Saturday. So by the time we hit you with another episode, we will be through the wild card round and into the LDS round. So yeah, we're gonna have a fun couple weeks of baseball here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to touch base with you all, and just kind of get some stuff out there before the playoffs officially start. So Jack and I will be back. We'll do possibly talk about the Mets a little bit next episode, maybe talk about the playoffs. And then, we'll have our end of the year, over-unders recap. I already was looking at some of that to see who hit over, who hit under, whatever. And, we'll have the regular off-season stuff. Hopefully, we'll be able to get to the, November card show, and, we'll do the regular off-season stuff as well. But we're heading into a really exciting time, and then nothing for baseball. So it's it's a major up and a major down. So we'll navigate that all together, I suppose, folks. So that'll do it for this one. Enjoy the playoffs. Go Cubs. And we'll talk to you on the other side. For Rain Delay Theater, I'm Jeremy Dionisio. See you later.